Now time for the man you've all been waiting for, the king of the high street.
You've been described as the unacceptable face of capitalism.
I've done nothing wrong.
I want to talk about this film. We're specifically approaching it from this angle of this fast fashion world. Was that always part of it? Was that part of the inception then?
Yeah, I think it could be any industry. Obviously, like, you know, a lot of industries work in this similar way, but fashion is good for a couple of reasons. First of all, it is a huge industry, you know, and there's tens of millions of women workers, mainly women workers, making our clothes for very low wages in countries like Sri Lanka, where we filmed, where the rate for the women we were working with was £4 a day. Or even countries which pay less, like Bangladesh or Myanmar. And at the top of that world, there's on one hand there's like very glamorous, beautiful, powerful women who are the sort of role models that you aspire to be, and then also there's the bosses of the companies. And, you know, the owner of H&M is worth 20 billion, the owner of Zara is worth 60 billion. So there's a huge inequality in that industry, and it's an industry that we all take part in. It's an industry which is everywhere and all pervasive.
Mm-hmm. So then, from a performance angle, how did you use that world to inform McCreadie in your approach to the character?
Well, I mean, it's quite, in some ways it's quite easy. It's a gift. It's very clear what he is, which is this tycoon. He's incredibly successful and rich. And also, he himself, the character I'm playing, who's representative of a lot of these people in the real world, sort of knows how he's made his wealth. You know, the super rich are super rich because of a direct relationship with the super poor. And so to me that gave a clue to his character, that he's able to enjoy his wealth unapologetically, knowing that in many ways the lifestyle he lives is based on the sort of subjugation and sort of pitiful wages of the people who are at the beginning of his supply chain.
He was his own man from the start.
What is the average wage in Sri Lanka? 50p a day. Imagine how many dresses I can get made.
He was a bully.
Not you had to shake my hand.
He was a parasite.
It's classic tax avoidance.
Go away!
This is your 7th collaboration together, soon to be 8. And I wonder, does that ever make things any easier for either of you?
I think so. I think working with someone you know is always easier than working with a bunch of strangers. One of the weird things about films is often in the traditional way, there's like 200 or 300 people on set and no one knows anyone at the beginning. So you're only really getting to know everyone by the end of the shoot. So it's great to have a relationship which has been a long time now, but where you know how people work and you just start.
I agree with that entirely. It saves a lot of time because when we work on a new collaboration, from day one, we're sort of in the groove, if you like. We don't have to circle each other or figure out who each other is. So that's So it feels very normal way of working.
Does it make things any harder then too? Just knowing that you do have this closer connection, is it harder then to critique or?
You're right. There may be times when it's like you're trying to do something different. But it's not something I'm aware of particular examples. But yeah, you're right. I guess you could get like, okay, we know what we're doing, so we're not trying anything new. Like we've done now 4 trips, so it's probably true that we just keep doing the same thing.
The 4 trips we made certainly were.
It's quite similar to each other.
They all are pretty much the same.
If we were to turn this into a series much like the Trip films, and we had one based on the other sins, where would we go next?
I don't know. I mean, and greed. It's like the title's greed, and we want it to be on the nose and be like okay, but it is about greed. But I think it's more generally about inequality. It's like it's not really an attack on individuals. Like an individual, obviously, Richard McCreadie is an individual in the film, and he's a funny individual, and he is probably quite greedy in the film. But it's not saying that, it's more about the system. The system is designed to create these massive inequalities between the people at the top and the people actually do the work. And so really it was that area rather than a sort of individual lust that we wanted to look at.
We've been working on this party for over a year.
He wants it to repair his reputation.
It's all about image. The super yacht, the models. It's all part of a brand.
The big Mykonos party, there's tons of people there. We've got Stephen Fry, we've got other guests, that sort of thing. How much did that actually feel like a party, and was there a sense that you had to kind of rein things in from time to time?
Well, there was it was the first 2 days we filmed. It was right at the very beginning of the film, so it was chaotic. Which was, fortunately, the idea of the party in the film was that it's supposed to be chaotic and everything goes wrong. And it was a fairly chaotic start to the shoot. We had 2 days of like hundreds of people, and as you say, all these celebrities came along very kindly, sort of, to sort of be in the party. But it went to quite, from my point of view, quite a hectic start to the film.
Yeah, it was fun. All all the people there are people we like and enjoy being with, and so as films about serious subjects go, it was quite an enjoyable one to make.
The lookalikes.
Yeah, Simon Cowell, he's good,
Yeah.
Looks like Rod Stewart's bitter older brother. Is that George Michael? George Michael's dead.